Making the most of each performance. Prior to playing somewhere, you must decide what would be appropriate to wear. Find out from the person who booked you what the occasion or event will be. Dress to fit the occasion. In many situations, the performer should dress up from the rest of the crowd. After all, you're not just another person in the crowd, you're actually an important part of the overall event. You're either a part of the show or you are the main event. If you don't dress appropriately, it's as if you're not giving respect to those who want your services. Don't disappoint them. While you're playing, it's important to remember a few tidbits of wisdom. Not all performances will call for the same approach. These are some time-tested and true modes of behavior in speech and body language. Be poised. Be self-assured. Speak clearly. Don't fidget with the button on your shirt as you're speaking between songs. Have eye contact with the crowd. This shows respect for them. This is part of connecting with a crowd. It's also a way for you to feel out the audience and act appropriately if they appear uninterested. Stay within the time parameters of the event. Be prepared to know what to say between songs, and try out various segues while you practice so it becomes natural. Don't say too much between songs. You're there to perform, not to give a speech. Have a natural flow with your performance and choice of songs and their sequence. Don't start out with a slow song. Get the audience's attention right from the very start. The slower songs can come later. Save the absolutely best song for last, so the last remembrance of you will be upbeat. Always be prepared for an encore. Make sure it too is upbeat. If they wish for one more encore, only give them one more song. Don't overextend your welcome. I once heard a story about Buddy Holly. He was playing a concert somewhere and the audience was eating it up. They loved the music. A band member wanted to keep on playing, but Buddy Holly had a better plan. He said they had to stop even though the people would love to hear more. His rationale was that if they quit playing while the audience was asking for more, the band would be remembered fondly and the crowd would seek them out in the future. If they played too long, eventually the crowd would tire of the music and one by one they'd be going home. In the end, the only ones that would be left standing would be the band. The image would be one of people getting tired of hearing too much. The image would be of a band in whose audience eventually loses interest. If you played what was expected of you, you're done. You've done your job. Give them a reason to seek you out again. Use each performance to advance your songwriting or performance career. There may be people who will want to speak with you after the show. They'll want to know where you've come from and what you've done and if you have any recordings. Be prepared with answers. And be professional and confident in how you speak to those who attend your performances. Use the curiosity of those who speak with you to your advantage. Again, as in the case with the news media, don't feel as if you're taking advantage of anyone. People are naturally curious. Go for it. Make sure you have business cards with you to hand out. Prior to the engagement, print off a newsletter about yourself to give to those who might be interested after the show. Have recordings available at your concerts. Make sure that you have a list of those who might be interested in being on your mailing list. Perhaps you could receive email addresses as well. It's much less expensive than snail mail. The purpose of a mailing list is to inform those who are genuinely interested in your music and would like to see you play again. Send those on your mailing list an itinerary of future shows along with information on how to obtain your recordings. Be sure to keep everyone informed regularly. Keep them coming back for more. This is how a following is started. Email lists and mailing lists in general are priceless. Follow through with the organizer of the event on your pay. Normally they'll pay as soon as the performance is over. If they don't, leave the event and contact them within a week about your pay. Remind them of your original agreement. This approach will leave the ownership of payment on them. You'll appear as not to be greedy in leaving the event with an outstretched hand waiting to be paid. The vast majority of organizers will pay. There will be times, though, when you're going to have to try a different approach if they aren't responsible in paying the way it was agreed. Before you leave the business event, church, or civic organization, speak with the individual who booked you. Ask them if they would be willing to send a to whom it may concern letter of recommendation that could be used to help to obtain other concerts. Make sure they send it on company letterhead. There's no better recommendation than receiving a letter from someone who has heard you play and having them say glowing things about you. Keep the letters in a file. Make copies and use them in future promotional mailings. Keep the file revolving. Only circulate letters that have been collected within the past year. Keep it current. Send a thank you letter or card to the business, church, or other organization. This simple follow-up after the concert will leave a great impression on the ones receiving it. Just simply state how you enjoyed playing for them and thank them for the opportunity. Make some reference to hoping to cross paths again sometime. If there was a to whom it may concern letter sent from them, thank them for that as well. Now, don't write a long letter. Just sending a thank you card or a short letter can only build a relationship of good feelings. This practice can be a way to help to secure a future concert with them.